everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Tomica review for you today. This is part of the Tomica Town Build City line, and this is what they call the basic set. And it's just kind of a couple buildings you might have around town, so if you wanted to try to, collect a bunch of sets and start to build a city, this is kind of like a starter pack. You get like a market, you get a hamburger stand, you get a Koban for the police station, you get like one house. You get this piece here, which is like a takoyaki stand, as well as a flower shop. You get an ATM. So kind of just some basic stuff to kind of get your city started. And then they have other sets. Obviously, I reviewed the police station already. They have, I think, like a 7-Eleven, some other things that are available. Anyway, this is the front of the box. And this is kind of what the directions show to put together. Or I should say it's like the main configuration. But as you can see over here on the side, there are other configurations that are possible. I believe the directions show how you can build these two configurations, but the sky's the limit. Whatever you can create, you can do, because the way the build city works, they all have these kind of like peg holes and pegs, so you can swap them around, connect them however you want, kind of like Legos in a way. And whatever configuration you can come up with, it's possible. So taking a look at the box here, shows some of the features. Not really much going on the bottom. On the side over here, I apologize, that this is the other two configurations. So this is kind of a double-decker configuration, and this is like a really tall building, stacking pretty much everything in one way. And this just kind of shows like how ramps and stuff can work, which of course we'll take a look at in a minute. So focusing back here on the back, there we go. So again, this shows the tower configuration, the kind of double-decker configuration. And then if you buy other sets, like they have a gas station over here, there's a 7-Eleven here. I'm not sure what this one is, but I know there's another set that just kind of has this little tiny double-decker section. And then you can buy track and put it around and make this like city configuration. So again, these are all just proposed ideas. You don't have to stick with them. You can do whatever you want. And then this is just a part count down here in the corner. It shows you all the different things you get. So I'm going to primarily show you the main configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each platform individually, and then at the end I'll bring them all together. I'm not going to rebuild them into these, but just know they are possible. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the little house first. So first up we have this little house. I think it's kind of funny. It's the only green base plate in the whole set, and I wonder if they put it with the house to kind of simulate like a yard or grass. But the house is on this half of it, and you park your car over here. So I don't know why you would need it to be grass. But so if you look inside, you can see there, and I will take a little bit closer look in a minute, but you can see there's like a TV, and it's made to look like a living room. So I have a car here that I'm just going to use. This is not included in the set. This is just from, another Hyper Series review that I've done. This little gate opens up, and then you can back the car in, and then you can close it up if you want. And then you have this kind of launcher where you just put the car up against it, and you're going to want to make sure this is up. And then you can just kind of, and it'll kind of flick the car forward. It's very basic. It's just, you push up against this and then you hit this and it flings the car forward. So very basic, but that's what it does. I like the stickers up here to kind of show like a room with a little balcony up here. They don't have stickers all the way around, unfortunately, just on the side and the front. But the cool thing about this, so this is actually a box. You could open this up and you can put a car in here, even though it's supposed to be like the living room. You can drive a car into the living room. And then same thing, there's the same lever back here as the same as over here. So you can push this in and then flick it out. And that's mostly because if you wanted to use this in a different configuration and put it on the top of a tower or something and you wanted to launch a car down a ramp, you could do that. So this actually can open. You can lift the lid off. I'll take this whole box off of the base plate just for now. So you can see this all does completely open up. That's how you apply the stickers. It's obviously much easier to open this up to apply the stickers. So you have a bookcase, a plant, window, clock, little TV there, some table and chairs. So it kind of, you know, gives it a semblance of a home. But again, you can put a car in here. You can do pretty much whatever you want. You just push this back up, and then it closes up, and then this ramp closes up there. And you can take this off. This is just pegged in, just like that. So, and then of course you have 8 pegs here that peg onto the base plate. So everything just pegs on. That's why you can pick it up, move it around, do whatever you want. But that is the little house section. Next up we have the largest section, which is one of the larger base plates, and then a smaller square base plate. And they're kind of just kept together by this piece being half on this and half on that. It's really the only way they're connected. You have these little ramps, which kind of, well, this one's actually on pretty nice, but my only problem with the ramps is they don't stay on very easily. They fall off really quickly. And I know you don't want them to be like snapped on so you can't get them off, but I wish they just held on a little bit better. These guardrails actually connect in these spots as well. So where you could put a ramp, the guardrail piece, and I feel like that snaps in pretty securely, so I appreciate that. This piece in the back corner is a takoyaki stand, which is octopus, if you're not familiar. So you can see the sign here, and then you have kind of a window where it looks like you can go up to the counter, and you know they have a little menu up here, kind of like something you'd see like in a food court of a mall. But you can order what you want and pick it up at the window. Now on the other side, it is a flower shop. So if you wanted to, you know, flip it around and put the flower shop here, you could. Or they have you put it like this, because if you turn around, you can see there's like a billboard here, and you could drive up this way, and there's a ramp in the back, because this is a like drive-through speaker for the fast food place that is on the ground floor. And I'm going to take these off just because it'll be easier to show you. So the top thing is the market. Now I don't really know how you're supposed to get up there, but the sticker for the sign and this is a cardboard insert. These open up like this. So again, if you wanted to put a car in here, you could. But this is a cardboard insert that you just fold up and slide in. And it's got the market on that side. It's got a door there. I guess it's a loading chute or something, a door. And then it's got this billboard for the aquarium on the back. Again, I don't really know how you're supposed to get up to this, but if I take the hamburger place off, this is supposed to be almost like a McDonald's, but obviously they can't use the name McDonald's, so it just says hamburger. But you can see they're advertising some food here on the front. On this side, you have like the window, just a normal window to the place. And then over here, you have the drive-through window. Nothing on this side. But if you open this up, you can kind of see in through the door. If you open this up, there's a little cardboard insert. And that's basically like the counter. And I mean, it looks so much like a McDonald's. I think it's obvious that that's what it's supposed to be. But again, you have the menu up top, the counter here where you would order. So I think that's pretty cool how they did that. And then I'm going to try to put this back on because, again, this is the only thing keeping these two plates together. And then pop this on top of there. So basically how it would work is if you have your car, we'll see if we can get in close here. This is the drive-through window. It tells you the different value meals and everything. Where'd my car go? Here we go. So you would drive up here. And I know it's going to be hard to see. But drive up here, place your order. Then you'd have to drive through here and around to the side to pick it up. And then you could drive off down that way. Now they have a ramp over here, like you're just supposed to come in through the drive-through there. But I feel like this is obviously where you're supposed to order, and this is where the directions tell you to put that. So, I don't know, maybe you could move that. Maybe it would make more sense to put that over here. Just because I feel like if this is the main entrance and this is where the foot traffic would go, you don't want cars really passing through there. But maybe you could drive up, place your order here, and then move to the window, and then drive on. So, I don't know. Like I said, the main directions tell you to put it over here, so that's where I put it. But I think it would make more sense to be over here. This is a little sign for a bus stop. You can see it says Basu, and it's got a picture of a bus, and then really tiny little bus schedule that I can't possibly read because it's too tiny. But it is there. So put that back. So yeah, I think this is a pretty cool little section. Again, if you want to come up with your own configuration, if you want to move this and put the Fresh Market right here, you could certainly do that. It would kind of make it more like a strip mall. Oops, wow, I just broke that off. Luckily, you can easily pop this back on. You could do something like this, and then it has more of like a strip mall look to it where it's all on a line. Then maybe it would make more sense to put this here for the drive-through, something like that. You know, whatever you can come up with and whatever configuration you like, you can do. I'm just showing you the official direction version, just, you know, to have something to show you. So this last section to show you, this is a Koban or police box. This is an ATM. And then this is just kind of a parking lot. Now again, I assume it's a bus stop because it has another one of these bus signs here. And that just kind of plugs in right there. So I'm assuming that this is just kind of like a big bus stop. But again, if you feel like that's a waste of space, you could certainly, you know, put it up here or do whatever. You know, there's all kinds of different things you could do. But the ATM is pretty simplistic, but the stickers look good. I just think the scale is hilarious because if you think about how tall this ATM kiosk is, and this is like the size of a human, but then like you expect them to go into the like hamburger place, which is obviously the counters are only like this tall, and that would be waste. So I don't know. It's the scale's a little off in my opinion. And I have one of these figures. Unfortunately, there's no like footholds for the figures anymore. They're not really part of the Build City line as they were with the older Tomica Town line. But the figures are still pretty much in scale, I would say. They pretty much still work. If you have some of the figures from the older sets, you could still place them around. This just has a parking sign, another bus stop. As far as the police box goes, this is another one of those ones where you can pull the ramp down on the side if you want to put a car in there, and this completely opens up. So you can see the stickers here, just kind of like a little office for a policeman to, if he has any reports he has to file or anything. It's basically just to kind of be around in case someone needs a policeman in the city. They can quick run here and get assistance, whether he has to call someone or he can assist, depending on what it is. It's just to kind of have like a man on the scene. And it has another one of these launchers here. So I think it's neat. And then that just clips back in here. So not a ton for this section, but you do have the car deployment, and then you kind of have this. I feel like this bus stop section is kind of wasted, but you know, you can put a car there or have a figure. Use the ATM if you have some figures or cars from previous sets. Again, no cars or figures are included with this. It's just the town itself. So putting them all together, this is kind of how the front of the box shows. It just has like one street in the back, and then it has this kind of street up front. You know, it's an alright configuration. Obviously, if I had some of the road pieces like it showed on the box, I think the configuration would be a lot more fun and make it seem more solid. But the other problem is with those roads, they don't have really any kind of off-ramp. So if you were to put these in the middle, there'd be really no way for the cars to get off of that road track and drive into these stores because they're solid bars around with, you know, solid walls around the track. But I guess it is what it is. You also get this little parking lot piece. It's just a piece of cardboard, not much to it, but they have you just kind of put that down on the side over here next to the police station. You can have cars parked there if you like. Not that exciting, but you know, little added bonus. Here's a little police car I can kind of put in this area. So I think it's cool. You know, I'm not saying that this original box configuration is the best configuration. They do also give you 2 short ramps and 1 longer ramp for if you decide to go into the tower configuration or the double-decker configuration and you need some ramps to get up to that higher level. They do include those. I didn't show them off here because it doesn't really make sense anywhere in this configuration. I guess if you really wanted to put a ramp up here so a car could drive straight into the Fresh Market, you could do that. You know, you could toss that on there. So I do appreciate the inclusion of these ramps, especially when you start making your own creations and things like that. If you have any of the other sets, like the police station I reviewed previously, you can take those pieces, connect them with these. Again, all the connections are the same. So the more sets you buy, the more crazy giant connected town things you can do. So that's pretty much it for this basic set. Let's see if I can bring this forward and bring in the box again. There you go. The Tomica Town basic set. I think it's cool. It gives you a lot of nice basic building blocks. I like the hamburger stand, the McDonald's basically. I think that's my favorite. The little house is pretty cool too, and I kind of like the takoyaki stand. The police box, I feel like for me personally, I already have the old police box, and I already have the police station, both of which I've previously reviewed. So to get another Koban, for me personally, was not that exciting. But if this is the first set you're ever picking up, then yeah, I think it's great. I think it's nice because those are prevalent in cities in Japan, so it makes sense to have one of them. I just kind of already have 2 police things. I didn't need a third. But again, if this is the first thing you're buying, I think it's a great basic set to get started. You get a lot of fun stuff, and like I said, there's definitely a lot of different combinations to be had. Just come up with your own creation, mix and match, and move things around. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Tomica Town Build City Basic Set. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.